All right, Clutch Performer. Hopefully tomorrow it is something to do with the Oilers, and they force Game 7. I gotta get to the gambling part of things here in a bit too. Rashmi has me thinking. But our Clutch Performer today for Nick Service in Emerald Park, we're kind of going back and we're kind of keeping it current. It's a group of athletes heading to Canton, Ohio, for the NFL Flag Championships here in July. So we have Brindley and Xavier with us in studio, and Mike Thomas. Mike, first off to you. Huge deal. Canton, Ohio. How did you guys get here?
You know, we've been fortunate over the last couple of years where, you know, we've been a team that has qualified for various NFL flag events. And so, you know, the MO for this group that we've had together for a while is, you know, last year we won regional here in Regina and then went down to the national championships down in Toronto. And we actually lost to the eventual champion in the semifinal. It was a tight game, but that team aged out. So then NFL Canada was stuck with, you know, how are they going to do things? And they looked at us and said, you know, this is a team that's been there before that, you know, provided the best competition against the eventual winner. And they gave us the option to be able to go, and that was an easy one for our team to accept.
Okay, let's go Xavier first. Yeah, pull that thing a little closer to you. If you're watching the stream, you'll see the youngster here. Okay, you guys go and you compete, and it's Saskatchewan, right? And it's like, well, in Canada is one thing, but you guys we're the cream of the crop here in Saskatchewan when it comes to flag football. Like, is that confidence you're taking that into Canton?
I would say so. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
What makes you know your team and just Saskatchewan flag football so good?
There's like a lot of good athletes playing. There's people who know how to play football. What's
so your team? What's the makeup of your team here? That's heading down. Like how many guys all play together for a long time?
Yeah, we've played for like 3 years together, something like that, maybe 2.
As a coach, you know, you and I were talking off this, and we've been around flag, and we talk quite a bit. It's funny because I talked to Glenn Suter about this, and I'm like, you wait until the Olympics. You might not see these pro players you're thinking of. It's a totally different game, Mike.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, when you look at the makeup of what potentially people are talking about in terms of teams, you know, with whether it be CFL players or NFL players, you might see 1 or 2, but it's still going to be comprised of a lot of guys that aren't in the league or maybe previously were. But you know, when you look at the flag player, it's a lot different than an average or typical NFL or CFL player, right? CFL players or NFL players, they're built with muscle mass and with, you know, strength and just, you know, the way that they have their body composed to compete and grind through an 18-game season. It's a lot different than playing 6 flag games in 2 days. You know, so, you know, you'll see some guys, absolutely, you know, and it'd be nice to see a cat like Trey Ford out there. He could do some things, you know, but you're not going to see Pat Mahomes. You're not going to see, you know, Hurts.
That's what I said.
You might see Jefferson, you might see Tariq, but, you know, it's going to be those fast, quick, short dudes that you're going to see. And classic example, Adam O'Clair, right? Went down, you know, tight end, comes back, slimmed down, looks really good. He's going to be a star for Paul LaPolice and the national team, but, you know, these guys really, you know, they're tackle guys, you know, both Brindley and Xavier were on the U16 RMF team and just were recently anointed to the Football Sask U16 provincial team. But they also get it because the way that they are, they're young. They don't have a bunch of, you know, big muscle mass. They're big kids, bigger than my own kids. So, but, you know, they can do some things out there on the field.
Brindley, to you, and you know, when you play some of these teams and just the creativity of the game and flag football, do you guys change things on the fly, or do you kind of stick to plays that are set, or do you kind of audible out? Do you
whoa. Don't give them any secrets right now before you get going.
We usually stick to like the general playbook, but we do have some calls for different things, you know, if we need to change something up or if we see something on the field.
Where was the Nationals last year?
Toronto.
Were you in Toronto last year?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you go and play teams there from around Canada, are there a lot of different styles, and what are the different styles that you would play?
There are a couple different styles. It's like some teams like to stick to one main defense or one main type of play style, where others like to switch it up and bounce around, so teams don't know what they're going to expect when they play them.
Yeah, and that's another, like, watching, and again, talking to Glenn and educating, I feel a little bit, Glenn and Arash and these guys, and I'm like, watch the World Championships where, Mason Nias and those guys went to Finland last year, and then watch the final, like Italy and the United States, where Italy's tall guys stand back and sling it, where the Americans run the 2-quarterback system, totally different.
Yeah. It's, the nuances of the game, like you said, it's definitely an educational standpoint because, it's a different style that you can see with whether it be the Italians or however, the Mexicans play. You see how the Americans, right there, they're very athletic, obviously, and they use that to their advantage. Whereas in some other teams like, Denmark, they use their height. The Israelis, they are very quick and shifty. The Japanese, they're short, fast, quick. Like, there's just so many different ways to do things, and now how the game is really opened up. Essentially you make one stop, you can win a game.
Yeah, that's when I was talking Lipinski from, and he was saying, like the you're not going to stop team. If you do, that's how you win. Like once. You have to score on every possession. Is that something that you guys, Xavier, to you, like, is that the mindset for you guys? We got to score, and then is it like, okay, well, just take what they give us, let's get down the field and get a score?
Yeah, I would say so. Like, if we score, sometimes like they just give up. I don't know.
So, Brindley, to you, what are you expecting competition-wise when you guys do get to Canton, Ohio?
I'm expecting some probably really good at competition. A lot of scoring, I'm hoping, from us, but, kind of get to see when you get there.
Do you get to watch any tape before on any of these teams or not, anything like that?
No, I don't think so.
Mike, come on, you got to have some sort of...
There'll be some things that we'll see, but we probably won't show the kids too much just because, for us, it's more so just focusing for them. Both Brindley and Zav are mostly offensive players. I do get Bryn on defense from time to time, but, for us, again, I've been to a lot of these tournaments. You start to understand what you got to do. And like they said, you got to have your bread and butter and stick to it and just kind of roll through some things. So it's more refinement. But yeah, those countries do some different things. And especially seeing a new country this year in Puerto Rico that's going to be there, it's going to have a very American influence type of game. It's going to be interesting just in that aspect. But the best part about it is these guys getting a chance to meet kids from... Australia and Great Britain and Mexico and, like I said, Puerto Rico, Germany, and some kids they've had an opportunity to meet, a few years ago. So now they're a little bit older, maybe got a little bit more bass in their voice. But, it's also a good way to rekindle those relationships that they fostered from a few years back.
Okay, couple of quick ones here. Xavier, first off to you, who's your favorite football player and who's your favorite team?
My favorite football player is probably like Joe Burrow or Josh Allen, and my favorite team is the Texans.
Oh, Texans.
Yeah.
All right. Brilliantly slide that over. How about you? Favorite team and player?
Favorite player's got to be DK Metcalf, even though he went to the Steelers, but favorite team Seahawks.
Seahawks, eh? Mm-hmm. No Riders. I thought maybe someone would go with a little Rider
local flavor.
Rider action. Yeah, this is awesome, guys. Super exciting. And then these games, it says it's going to be live broadcast, Mike.
Yeah, so this is the neat part about this is that with the renewed attention for the LA Olympics in 28 and the massive financial commitment by the NFL, it is now being put on a larger platform where some of these games and some of the games will be on ESPN, ESPN2, Disney Network. So, if we do what we do, which I hope we will be in that final, it'll be live on ESPN for everybody to watch.
Pro Football Hall of Fame too, obviously. Like, right? Like, you guys got tickets already? You get tickets? Do you know?
I don't know.
Just walk in. Walk in like you own the place. They don't question you. And there won't be any smoke there, so nothing will be canceled. Thanks for coming in, Brindley, Xavier. Best of luck. So much fun. Mike, as always, big supporter that we are here on the Sports Cage, a flag. This will be really cool. Yeah, ESPN, right?
Yeah,
That'd be something else.